Hey guys, Cypher here, and today I'm going to show you the Death Knight talents, some of the more interesting abilities. So, it's currently respecking them every time you switch specs, so when I gotta show you a different one in the same tree, I'll just swap specs and do that. The first set of talents is all about AoE skills. These first two are about AoE skills and spreading your dots. So rolling blood, whenever you blood boil a target and it has diseases up, it will trigger pestilence and it'll spread it to other targets. Nothing really special there, not going to show that one. The next one is vile spew. This one I will show. It's unfortunate that I can't spec Unholy right now, but what this one does is it causes an explosion from your ghoul, and it'll, even if targets don't have diseases, it'll apply diseases to everything it hits. And it hits for like about 700 shadow damage. So, gonna go use it on the one of the target dummies. I'll build up some runic power first. Alright. And actually, let me get it from the spellbook. Alright. So now if you just watch... Alright, it erupts, puts Plague Strike, Frost Fever on everything it hit. And it doesn't really have a cooldown, and you can just do it anytime you want. So Unholy with a permanent pet is probably going to really enjoy that spell. Never have to actually apply dots again. The only thing I could see changing is that it might possibly make the ghoul explode and kill itself, but because it just says that it erupts, it doesn't really say that it's gonna, explode like the old corpse explosion. So if any changes happen, I could see that being one of them. Alright. Now the other one I also wanted to show you, so I'm gonna respec. And it's Unholy Blight. It's pretty much the same spell that it used to be, and it's kinda nice seeing that they brought back a little bit of the old flavor from Death Knights. And it doesn't have any cost, 1.5 minute cooldown, and currently has a pretty big animation when you do use it. So, let me pull that out. And I'm in blood spec, so could be hitting a little bit harder. Alright, there we go. So, pretty decent ability. Pretty decent damage for like passive AoE. And it's just nice to have that spell back. Alright, the next row, it's pretty much all PvP type abilities. Lichborn, it's the same ability that it's on live right now. Same for Anti-Magic Zone. The third spell is Icy Grip. This is not there. Basically, it's just a slow when you Death Grip. So nothing really special or new about this this row of tree, or of talents. Alright. And the next one is also PvP / utility abilities. First one's Death Advance. This is the same ability that is in the current Unholy tree, where you can't be reduced below 75% speed. It doesn't really have any requirements according to this tooltip, so like I don't know if you still need to have Death Runes activated, but apparently it doesn't say anything here. Chillblains, exact same. When Frost Fever is applied, it reduces target speed by 50%. Put Chains of Ice, it immobilizes them. Asphyxiate, this is new. This is actually kind of a cool ability. It doesn't really work on NPCs right now. Well, the effect works, the animation doesn't work. It's going to do like a forced choke animation, and it's also going to replace strangulate. So what it does is it's going to lift the target off the ground, and they're going to grab their throat like you're choking them. And it's going to stun them for 5 seconds, and if they can't be stunned, it's going to silence them. So I'll just show you. Like, you don't have to channel it. Just put it on there. And if that was like a rogue or something, they'd just be stunned hanging up in the air. So just basically an improved strangulate. Alright. Now the next row, this is all about healing. Death Pack, same name, but this is actually kind of different now. I'll learn it and show you this one. What it does is it's not going to fully kill your ghoul. and it's going to heal you for 50%. But it's going to take away 50% of the ghoul's life. So I'll use it. Actually, let me take it on the bar. So I guess if your ghoul is low HP, it's going to kill him, but otherwise it's not. Your ghoul, I believe, comes out with half of your HP. Oh, I'm spamming the wrong button. Alright, so if I pop it, heal me for 94k, and it just brought him down to 50% life. So pretty nice that it doesn't get rid of the ghoul anymore, and it heals for a pretty substantial amount. Let me get rid of him. Alright, and I'm also going to show you the next one. It's called Death Siphon. This I was using when I was Frostspec while leveling. It's really nice because it's a 40-yard spell. It's pretty sweet for tagging mobs. It does the damage directly. There's no travel time to the mob, but there's a travel time back to you because it's going to do damage, and then it's going to heal you for 75% of the damage. It's kind of like an instant haunt that warlocks have. And it costs 1 death rune, and it has no cooldown. So I'll show you that. I was pretty much using it anytime I dropped low. I never had to eat. I would just spam this and Death Strike, even as Frost. So let me just show you the range on this thing. Alright, and it shoots this little green thing at you, healing me for 13k. Not bad, considering all it costs is a death rune. And just did it 3 times right there. Pretty nice. And the last one, it's also new. I'm not going to show you this one because there's nothing really interesting about watching it. What it does is it's going to eat your runic power and heal you for runic power. So every 10 runic power, it's going to heal you for 3%, but it's also going to cut down your runic power regen by 50%, which might sound really crappy, but if you're tanking, if you use this in sync with Anti-Magic Shell, they re-added an ability that Anti-Magic Shell got taken away from it, where it, when you absorb magical damage, it gives you runic power, and that's for all specs now. So if you're taking a buttload of magic damage, that thing, while the AMS is up, you're pretty much going to have a full runic power bar, and conversion is pretty nice in that case. And those are the 3 healing ones. Alright, now for the level 75 abilities. Okay, Blood Tap. This isn't the old Blood Tap. I'll actually come back to that one. Next one's Runic Empowerment. This is the same as it is on live. Random chance to activate a fully depleted rune. And Runic Corruption. It's a 45% chance to increase your rune regeneration rate by 100%. All 3 of the abilities in this tree, or in this talent bracket, are activated by Death Coil, Frost Strike, and Rune Strike. So all 3 of them. Alright, now back to Blood Tap. Blood Tap is probably going to be the go-to ability for the better player. Now what it does right now is for every time you do one of those abilities, Frost Strike, Death Coil, or Rune Strike, it's going to give you 2 charges of Blood Tap. And when you have 5 charges, you can hit Blood Tap, and it's going to activate a fully depleted rune. So I'm just trying to get a little bit more runic power. So I'll hit Frost Strike once, and there's the 2 charges. There's Death Coil, another 2 charges, another Frost Strike, 6. It goes up to 10. And then you can basically just hit this whenever and activate it. So I'm pretty sure this is going to work out to be a more, it's definitely more proactive than the other 2. So the veteran player is going to want this one, I'm thinking, for DPS at least. And yeah, that's pretty much all the ones I can show you. I'll go over the last tree, because these are, I guess, the best ones. Just can't access them yet. First one's Gorfine's Grasp. This is basically an AoE death grip, and it's going to death grip everybody. It also says it deals damage, and it doesn't distinguish between hostile or friendly. I'm assuming it's not going to do damage to friendly targets, because in the brackets it says hostile and friendly. But you never know with Blizzard. The next one's Remorseless Winter. This one is it's kind of like Unholy Blight, how it's an aura, and it slowly builds up while doing damage, and if you get a certain number of stacks, I think it's, yeah, if you get 5 of them, it's going to stun everything in the area that has 5 stacks for 6 seconds. So that looks pretty neat. And the last one, I like this one actually the most. It's got a 2-minute cooldown. The other 2 had 1-minute cooldowns. This one is called Desecrated Ground. If you guys remember Desecrated Ground before, when you played an Unholy DK, that crap was all over the arena floor. But yeah, this is a 2-minute cooldown, and it's going to corrupt the ground. It's going to deal damage to anybody standing in it, but the really cool part is it's going to make the Death Knight immune to any sort of CC or ability that causes loss of control. So that'll definitely be neat. And I don't know, I like these talents. They're definitely giving Death Knights a lot of the flavor they had at the beginning of Wrath of the Lich King without the super OP-ness. And yeah, those were the Death Knight talents, and if you like it, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching, everybody.